Alright guys, we got another battle here against Zapdos equals God. So, funny thing, he didn't have a Zapdos. I predicted him to have a Zapdos. But, whatever, you know. Turns it's my Jirachi versus his Aerodactyl. I'm just going for the flinch hacks, or the 60% flinch hacks. And it turns out in my favor, as you're about to see. So here I pretty much figured out he didn't want to waste his Aerodactyl and we'll switch out to something. But I didn't bother switching just because I didn't know what like 5 of his Pokemon were, so it could be anything, and the switch in could be negative in my favor. So he switches in Fortress, I switch to my Rotom, he sets up a layer of spikes. So I know he was gonna switch out, because my Rotom has Overheat and it's a heat form, so it's obvious that I have Overheat. So I switch to my Jirachi, hoping that whatever he switches in will be weak to Jirachi, and it was. So here, I set up Stealth Rock because I knew he would switch out to Tyranitar, and so I got extra rocks up. And at this point, I'm like, he's probably going to use Earthquake, but just in case he uses like Outrage predicting me to switch, let me just play it safe with Swampert, because I could have switched in Rotom, but that was the riskier move, just in case he predicted the switch and did Outrage. The Outrage could have killed me. So I was just like, let's switch in Swampert and be safe. So I know he was going to switch, and so I used Roar, and he did switch, and I roared into Tyranitar. Here I wasn't sure if he thought I was going to roar him again, so it's better for him to switch right now, so he's probably predicting me to roar him or something, predicting that he would switch out, but I just used Earthquake just because I knew he would be predicting that. So it's like mind games going on here. But yeah, it works out in my favor. He has 1 Dragonance up. It's kind of not good on his part because 2 crunches would have done more than 1 Dragonance crunch would do. But you know, what can you do? Sometimes you just can't predict well, and that's what happened to him. So I roar him out because I didn't want him to have a choice of the switch in, and Tyranitar is useless anyways with the Stealth Rocks up. So he switches in Vaporeon, or rather I switch in for him, and here I know he's going to use Surf, so I'm just like, Swampert's weak, let me just continue scouting his team. My goal here right now is to see the last Pokemon he has, as you can see at the side with my new installation for your viewing pleasure. Yeah, as you can see, the 6th Pokemon, I can't see it yet, so I'm trying to just figure it out, and Swampert ends up dying before I can see it. So here I'm just like, okay, let's send in my Rotom, and I knew he was using Earthquake, so he would switch, so I used Thunderbolt here, and it turned out amazing in my favor. So Vaporeon went down, or as you can see, he's about to go down. He's left with like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 HP probably, and then Sandstorm just finishing him off. So again, good prediction on my part. I actually play really well this match. I don't know if you noticed or not, but I'm playing rather well. So I switch out my Rotom, predicting Outrage or some sort of move that can damage me. So Celebi is the safest bet now that I've lost Swampert. It's like my backup physical wall. Pretty much what I do is I set out Swampert as the first physical wall, and then I scout his entire team. And then once I know his team, I can set in Celebi, and Celebi can act as like a setup person, and or whatever, just like an extra physical wall. That's generally my strategy with this team. So I'm just stalling him out until he's confused right now, and he becomes confused. And here I know he's gonna switch, so I just used my strongest move, Grass Knot, and my second move is HP Fire, and I was actually about to use it just because I thought he would switch in like Fortress or Tyranitar, but I was like, you know, let's just use Grass Knot, and it'll be a bit safer. But yeah, so he switches in Scizor, and my Grass Knot doesn't do anything, so I switch out. I'm afraid of him being scarfed and faster than me, otherwise I would have HP fired if I knew he wasn't holding a scarf. And he gets a crit, it takes me down to just enough for Superpower to kill me, so I'm just like, that sucks. But so Scizor was essentially just there to give me a free switch in. Sometimes that happens. What can you do? So Rotom comes in. I know he's gonna switch, but I don't know what he's gonna switch to, so I use just a safe overheat because I know his Vaporeon is dead. I know his resists for against fire are weaker now, so I know that overheat is pretty safe move to use just to spam it now. I don't have to predict a growth on that much anymore. So I switch in Jirachi, predicting something. I knew he wouldn't use Earthquake because I'm floating, and I knew Jirachi would resist the other two pretty well. So he sends in Fortress, and I'm just like, I can't really hurt it. I already have Stealth Rocks up, so let me just trick him a Scarf, just to make him useless. I knew he's gonna use Rapid Spin here because a few of his team members are weak, as you can see at the side, and he wants to get rid of that Stealth Rock just to be able to switch them in. And I knew he would use that, but I didn't want to switch the Rotom just because I wanted that Fortress to be useless with a Scarf. So I used Ice Punch, knowing that he would switch out, and it turned out in my favor. So here he sends an Aerodactyl, and I knew he's going to use Earthquake, but I didn't want to overpredict. Again, I could have switched in Rotom here and been perfectly fine, but I was just like, hey, whatever, I don't need Jirachi anymore, it's not Scarfed, it can't really do anything to whatever's left, so let's just send in Rotom. And at this point I'm like, hey, his whole team doesn't resist Thunderbolt, so let me just go on a final sweep here and see how far I can get. So down goes Aerodactyl, and he has Tyranitar, Fortress, and Scizor left. Tyranitar is really weak, and I'm not sure if that's enough for Stealth Rock to finish it off. I probably would have left him with like 1 HP if Stealth Rock was still up, but he still goes down to Thunderbolt. And in comes Scizor, and he uses Bullet Punch here, and doesn't do anything. I kind of evade this Rotom differently, just it's more bulkier. It's more as a revenge kill rather than a fast sweeper. So it doesn't finish him off because I actually don't have that many special attack EVs. But the second one to finish him off, he didn't use Bullet Punch this time. I'm actually curious what he did use. Maybe Night Slash, just in case I missed Thunderbolt or something. I don't know what he was thinking. So in comes his last Pokemon, Fortress. I'm like, it's Scarfed. If it uses Payback, I can just switch in Dragonite and finish it off. If it uses like Explosion, that's good for me. If it uses Gyro Ball, it won't damage me, so whatever, I'll just stay in. It'll be safe. Payback, it turns out to be Payback, as I predicted initially. And in comes my Dragonite, and I finish it off with Draco Meteor. Overkill or no kill. Anyway, let me know, the one person that comments on this video, what do you think about the sidebars, and I'll see you guys next time.